Hello ladies and gentlemen, Sigvalogrim here, and today we are going to talk about something that might not really be to interest to everybody that is watching me, but it might affect you in one day, so it's a serious concern that we need to really take a look into. So let's make the story short. Somebody, not in my league, like in a Discord server that I'm a part of, had an issue with the customer support of NetherRealms, and he had a conversation with them that didn't go very well, and he was frustrated, and somebody else tagged me like, Sigval, look at this, and I looked at it, and it's terrible. So that's what we're going to take a look at, because customer support for NetherRealms seems to be extremely terrible. It's terrible. It has a perspective where it looks down at players, and it's unable to do things, to do anything basically. So let me get the story from the start. So there's this guy who was doing his thing, playing solo raids. Eventually he managed to finish solo raids, and he didn't get the rewards for Darkside. As we all know, there are many people who didn't get rewards due to solo raids. As far as I understand, some of them received their rewards in the mail after the game was hotfixed, but he did not receive anything in the mail, so he made a ticket. And so to summarize it, he first of all made a little bit of a back and forth, he was telling the issue, and the first major response, let's say, is the fact that he's got this message. Greetings, hero. Thank you for writing back. I understand your concern about solo raid rewards. We have already forwarded your report on this to the game team for a review. They will investigate and fix this at the earliest. Please note that your ticket has been closed and you will not receive an additional response. I am unable to send the rewards manually. If you experience a different issue, please submit a new request for help through our support portal. So yeah, they submitted the issue to the team that was supposed to fix those bugs with the hotfix, and guess what, they are not fixed, and they submitted the issue, so this will be fixed in the future. But what this guy can't do, his name is Gwynlin. I'm not sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, Mr. Gwynlin. So you are unable to send rewards manually. Then what's the purpose of customer support? What are you able to do then? Submit a new request for other help, yeah, but you don't understand the thing. This guy sent a simple request like, I didn't receive those rewards, I am going to need Fatherbox in order to progress to the next difficulty of solo raids. He even wrote that in a mail. I'm not going to show the emails from him due to privacy reasons in his part, but I can assure you that he was very civil with them. He was much more civil, and he had so much patience that I couldn't have had myself. And it was a back and forth. He was getting like preset messages, sometimes people answering him, and this was the big major one that he got after a few tries. And then after that he just said that, dudes, I understand you got problems with the game, I understand it's a big game and it needs development. He even tried to be understandable towards them, but he said, it's simple, I didn't get my rewards, give me my rewards. And then he received this reply. I appreciate you providing me the screenshot. They further requested some screenshots for him in order to prove that didn't happen. As far as I'm aware, he was requested to make a screenshot so he shows that he doesn't have any artifact in his inventory, a screenshot of the mail, and a screenshot of finishing solo raid difficulty 1. And after providing those screenshots that they asked for, he received this. I appreciate you for forwarding the screenshot. I understand that you did not receive the raid rewards for completing the Apocalypse Hive. So yeah, at this point, they totally get it. They totally understand he didn't receive the rewards. They trust the fact that he didn't receive the rewards. Thank you for taking the time to report the issue to me, and I am sorry you had to deal with this. Well, you should be sorry you had to deal with this, because this is a very frustrating thing even to think about. Not even to deal with. And then he says, while I'm unable to grant you the reward, what are you able to do if you're unable to grant the reward? Why are you here? Why are you hired? Why are you getting your salary if you're unable to do that? I have added 200 power gems to your game profile. 200 power gems, they gave him 200 power gems. Dudes, for not receiving rewards, for completing the goddamn solo raids, they gave him 200 power gems. Like, dude, Fatherbox is very valuable. the 6-star character might be more or less valuable. But even if you take those after the question, they didn't even give him the equivalent of the gems that that he should have received for completing soul raids. This is insane, and wait, it gets better. Yeah, 200 power gems were sent to your game profile to help you in future battle. Yeah, bro, go open a hero gem. Maybe you get lucky, maybe you get a Dark Side, maybe you get an Arkham Knight Batman. Like, this is very sad. This is a very serious issue, but it's so absurdly managed to the point where it's amusing. This is not something that customer support can always provide, but I'm happy to help you with it today. Like, dude, those 200 gems are not something that customer support can usually provide. You are privileged that you got the chance to get them. Who cares about the fact that you didn't receive your raid rewards? You are a privileged man because they gave you 200 gems. They don't usually do this. And he had to send like 10 messages back and forth to get 200 gems in his inbox. And look at the attitude they take. Like, we don't usually do this, but I'm happy to do this right now for you. Like, I'm helping you out, even though I don't usually do this. You should feel privileged you got 200 gems. I will be sharing a report with the game team for their review. While they cannot follow up directly, the information will be used for future improvement within Just Mobile. So in other words, you ain't getting shit for a reward for finishing soul raids, but we might forward it to our team. They might attempt for a second time to fix this issue, and in the future you might not experience this issue. Dude, he had a simple request. At this point, he doesn't even care about your game. He understands it's a hard to balance game, a hard to update game since it's a multi-platform game. He understands that you might have a very small team, but he has a very simple and humble request. Give him the rewards that he earned through soul raids. And you're like, yeah, we'll forward the information. Maybe we'll fix it in the future. Maybe another hotfix. And in the future, it will not happen. And he's like, well, I already finished first difficulty of soul raids. It's irrelevant to me at this point if it will not happen, because it already happened and it can't be redone. If you got other game related questions or concerns, feel free to write back. Yeah, boy. Like, at this point, I don't know what you want him to write back because you are clearly unable to help him. Like, what are you getting your money for at this point? What are you helping people with? Like, those are the single two big answers and one of the very few human answers he got. He sent a few emails and most answers were simply automated, sending him to other pages like check out our help page, check out our frequent questions page, and he was like, I didn't get my rewards. This is extremely frustrating. I can't even imagine what's going through the head of the player that had this happen to him, and he had to deal with so many messages, so many back and forth replies, and such terrible people. Like, how did you get hired, bro? Like, were you licking their ass and bringing them coffee for 5 years, and then they were like, oh, let's stick him in the customer support. He was helpful enough so far, dude. Like, this issue aside, this is a very terrible issue and I'm very sorry to the person that this issue happened. And as I have said to him personally, I don't think this video is going to fix much. I'm just doing this in order to kind of raise awareness to the state of the customer support right now, because any of us might have to deal with it someday, and as you can see, it's a very frustrating experience, it's a very unforgiving experience, and it's an experience in which you are talking to people who talk to you from a position of power. And that sucks. And this issue aside, we need to look at the bigger picture. Like, at this point, those guys really don't care about their player base. And another example, for this example I'm going to keep it short because I don't really have the receipts for it and the emails for it right now. So, you know, there's a bug that occurs sometimes. It occurs very rarely to not do that specific thing in order for it not to happen, but it happens sometimes. So when you get the special offers with real money, you might get your account banned. It's a very small chance, like not buying special offers in order for this not to happen to you is like not driving a car in order to not do an accident with it. But it's a thing that can happen, some very rare times. And I've had someone who had this happen to him, got his account banned for like 5 days, and he submitted a message from for that issue to the NetherRealms, and they unbanned him eventually, like after 3 or 4 days. And they said something like, it's your fault. It's an issue related to a family shared device or something. So yeah, it's your fault you had that. You should be grateful that we restored your account. So that man got 5 days when he didn't play Injustice Mobile at all because he didn't have access to that specific game. He had his Champions Arena reset to the lowest tier, and he didn't receive crap for compensation for that misunderstanding. And this is a person who was willing to spend money on the game, and the game banned him, and after that it was like, it's your fault for spending money on the game the wrong way. Like, this is insane. And this thing with, like, I added 200 power gems to your game profile, and we don't usually do this. It's insane. Like, this needs to change. They need to not fire people, because I'm not for firing people, but maybe replace them, like shift them around. Get this guy back to bringing coffee and put someone that is able to talk to people over here. And maybe they don't have the power to do more. Give them more power. Like, what's the point of it? Like, they can barely give 200 power gems. Like, are you getting them out of your ass? Because if you are getting each one out of your ass, then 200 it's enough for me. But if not, then 200 it's a laughable amount. It's not even the amount that he should have received. So yeah, this is everything I have to say about this issue. Again, I'm sorry for the person who had to go through this. And yeah, I hope none of you have to go through any conversation with the customer support from NetherRealms, because as you can see, they are assholes who look to you from a position of power and who are ultimately useless. Yeah, this was it for this one. Like, comment, subscribe, dislike if you dislike it. This is just so frustrating to the point where it's funny. I don't know. See you in the next one.